Pre-order your copy of our Football Game Plan Scouting 2020 Prospect Guide. Over 800 prospect profiles of both NFL draft prospects and some CFL draft prospects as well. These are guys that we talk about in the video. Now you get your opportunity to go behind the curtain and see our detailed scouting report for each and every player that we will break down in one of these prospect rankings videos. Again, go to our website and pre-order your copy today. Be sure to order your copy of the Go-Go Offense by Coach Brennan Marion on footballgameplan.com/GoGoOffense. Coach Marion goes through the ins and outs of his explosive offense, one that's tearing up the college football field and putting a lot of points on the scoreboard. Again, you can order your copy at footballgameplan.com/GoGoOffense. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook. And now that all of the film has been watched, the grades have been finalized, let's take a look at our 2020 NFL Draft prospect rankings. And today, we're going to take a look at the tight ends. Adam Troutman of Dayton is our #1 flex tight end in the draft class. He's an excellent receiver in all aspects of the position: route running, hands, athleticism, and savvy. He checks all of the boxes. Also, what is very underrated about his game is how well he does as an inline blocker. The effort and want to is definitely there. Just has to clean up the technique a little bit in that regard, but overall, he's not a pushover when it comes to the blocking department. He's one of, if not the top prospect coming out of the FCS this season. It is not a particularly deep flex class per se. Over the last two draft classes, just for example, I've had 10 and 11 prospects respectively, but nonetheless, still an impressive group overall. You see another prospect from the Pioneer League in Devin Cates out of Drake, who just seems to turn out tight end prospects as of late. Moving over to the inline tight ends, and UCLA's Devin Asiasi graded out as the top. He has really good athleticism and carries that weight very well. Versus zone coverage, he shows a lot of savvy in getting open. Versus man, he gets good acceleration into his stem and knows how to set up defenders to create separation for himself. Blocking wise, he gets his hands up really quickly and in great position, showing the ability to execute all blocks that's needed to get movement at the point of attack. Here's the rest of the top 10, and keep an eye on two players that are super athletic and talented throughout this process, and that's Noah Tungiai out of Oregon State and Graham Adamitis out of Princeton, who currently has 3 tight ends playing in the NFL. Look for Adamitis to be the 4th. Sean Clark out of Monmouth is an intriguing prospect. He's a legit 6'8" and started to garner more targets this season as a senior. Coming from that program, I already know that he can block really well for sure, but he has grown into a solid option in the passing game and haven't begun to even hit his ceiling just yet. And he had a really good week of work down at the College Gridiron Showcase. And finally, our #1 H-back in this class is Washington's Hunter Bryant. He's probably the most explosive out of the tight end group this year. He has the burst off the ball from either the flex spot or as a detached player, making it very tough for defenders to cover him. And once he gets the ball in his hands, he knows what to do with it and how to make things happen. Pretty strong H-back class as well behind Bryant. I think Tyler Davis from Georgia Tech is an underrated player. He was fantastic at UConn before grad transferring to Georgia Tech. He's arguably the best blocker from this group of H-backs with very good all-around receiving skills. I think Ben Ellefson out of North Dakota State had a really good week at the Shrine Bowl this year, proving he's more than just a blocker in a run game. He's got some pretty solid receiving chops as well. And speaking of all-star game performances, Jordan Jones out of Prairie View A&M had a great one at the NFLPA Bowl this year. He's coming out of a solid program with head football coach Eric Dooley running the show, who's one of the brightest offensive minds in college football right now. They featured their tight end, and Jones has translatable game, in my opinion. Jared Garbino out of Dartmouth may just be this year's version of Taysom Hill. He was a quarterback at Dartmouth, part of a platoon system where his running ability was the highlight. At 6'4", 230 pounds, he has good athleticism and the ability to make that transition rather seamlessly while also still holding on to his ability and progress as a passer, giving your offense all types of versatility and flexibility when he's out there on the field. So that's a wrap here from footballgameplan.com. I'm Embry Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts, and don't forget to check out and subscribe to the Football Game Plan Network located at youtube.com/footballgameplan. Also, subscribe on iTunes to Football Game Plan Podcast, where you can find our Scout Team podcast, where we have a ton of player prospect interviews. Also on television, the Game Plus Network, every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have our Scout Team show. Check with your cable provider for channel listings.